Right, now we get to our conversation, our first conversation, where we are talking about international relations. And with me is Maxwell Okello, who is the CEO, America Chamber of Commerce, AmCham. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so last time you were here, we spoke about the relations and what this means for example, a developing country like Kenya, now relating with an already developed country. Now that we are in a new year, and we are now trying to focus on different kinds of relationships with different countries, what is the projection this year when it comes to international relations?
Well, with respect to Kenya and the US, I think that trajectory is one that we are very keenly following, and it's one that, as you can imagine, and maybe not even imagine, as you're aware of, is one that is deepening. And so from a trade and investment perspective, we've seen a significant uptick, especially from a commercial perspective. And we want to ensure that we keep that trajectory humming the way it is humming currently. Our objective is to ensure that we're able to drive more investment into this country, but also at the same time open up market opportunities for Kenyan firms in the US.
And even speaking about opening up firms for more markets, especially in the US, when you look at the young people in Kenya, and I know many people usually want to go to the US. They're like, okay, I want to go and study in the US and then maybe start working there for a better life. And what is the population of Kenyans who are now moving towards that side in order to maybe open businesses and also in order for them to study?
Well, I don't have numbers that I can share with you. We do know that the US is a significant destination for higher level studies. So a lot of Kenyans do go there for college, for university education. But if we come back to the trade space, which is where our focus is, we are seeing growth in exports from Kenya to the US. Last year, from the figures that we are tracking, we did about just slightly over $900 million worth of trading goods to the US, which I think is excellent when you think about it. And so our objective, simply put, is to ensure that we continue driving that forward. And we have a convening coming up at the end of April, specifically 24th and 25th of April. We call the AmCham Business Summit, which is a platform where we want to catalyze commercial interaction, both for Kenyan, some East African countries as well, but at the same time bring the US companies and the US government and the governments of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Ethiopia to ensure that we're able to accelerate and catalyze more trade and investment between our region and the US.
Right. And also to another issue, now the shilling is a little bit going to stability because it's at 130, 132. When you look at how the shilling has been performing against the dollar, for a couple of months now this year, how has this influenced trade between now the US and Kenya?
Yeah, the shilling situation has been one that I would say has been a bit of a concern.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great if you're, exporting, because you have then a stronger currency, so you're able to do more. But if you're importing, then it becomes very expensive if you look at it from a local context. However, we are glad that there's now stability, right? We're seeing the shilling stabilizing a little more, and that's due to several factors. I'm sure you guys are also tracking that. But I think generally a stable currency is a good thing from a trade perspective. And from an investment perspective as well, because there's capital that is being deployed, and that capital needs some sense of stability and predictability when it comes to returns that they can project over a period of time. And so what is happening right now is actually a very good thing from a commercial perspective, from an investment perspective, as far as we are concerned.
All right, and also now to the business summit that is going to be happening later in April. When you look at some of the players within the international relations and also trade, what are your projections in terms of people who are going to be attending, and is there eligibility for attending such a summit? And if there is, what is it going to involve? And at the end of the summit, what would you want to achieve at the end of it?
Thank you for that question. So we have two main objectives for the summit. We use the summit, or see the summit, as a platform that is an action-forcing platform, especially when it comes to driving the right policies and business climate reforms that help enhance trade and investment between the US and of course our region. But I think more importantly, it's a commercial melting pot. It's an opportunity for local businesses, American businesses, to connect and initiate or advance commercial interaction. So we will be hosting close to 1,000, if not more.
In Kenya?
In Kenya. A good mix of American companies and local companies. And local here would be Kenyan, Ugandan, Tanzanian, Rwandan, and Ethiopian companies. We also expect significant delegations from the US coming in. This will be US government representatives at the highest levels possible. We also expect to have various types of investors coming in to scout opportunities. And we will also, of course, have a lot of media there. And this is something that is usually very well captured by media. And so we are creating that buzz currently. And we want, if you're a senior business executive, you don't want to miss the AmCham Summit. It is an opportunity to connect with like-minded executives, but more importantly, be able to secure connections and opportunities that will help you advance your business objectives.
All right, Maxwell, thank you so much for just giving us a full breakdown of what the Business Summit will be about. And just look out for that in April later on.
24th and 25th of April.
24th and 25th April, there'll be the AmCham Business Summit. If you have an opportunity, please attend this kind of just very interesting conferences and forums to make sure that you at least connect with international businesses like yourself. All right, thank you so much. That is Maxwell Okello, who is the CEO AmCham. That is America Chamber of Commerce right here in Kenya. But now we continue.